Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into something that's just everywhere, isn't it? Sports betting. It's got this huge popularity, this real allure. And, lots of people are curious, but maybe don't fully grasp, well, the risks involved, the real risks. So our mission today, just to be clear, it isn't about promoting betting. Not at all. We want to kind of peel back the excitement, the potential wins, and really get into the nitty-gritty of risk management and personal well-being. Think of this as like a responsible educational look at the whole landscape, giving you the important stuff.
Exactly. The focus here is purely educational. We want to give you the information, really show the actual risks, and, promote awareness. We've looked at a whole stack of sources: financial management, risk analysis, personal well-being reflections. It's all there. The goal is prevention, really. Preventing financial harm, personal harm. That's what this is about.
Right. So stick with us, because we're not just talking numbers today. We're going to get into those emotional impacts too, the social side of things that often gets missed. It's about being properly informed, maybe having a few aha moments. Okay, let's unpack this. Let's start with maybe a difficult truth, something foundational about the betting market itself.
Yeah, it's crucial. The core reality is that the market, well, it's set up to favor the betting houses. That's just how they stay in business, right? It means for the vast majority of people betting, losses usually outweigh the gains over time. And that's why discipline, responsibility, they're absolutely paramount. Because emotion, it clouds your judgment so easily. It leads to bad calls.
That makes total sense. A sobering thought, though, isn't it? That the house kind of has that built-in edge. So beyond just losing the money you bet, what about those other risks, the less obvious ones?
Yes. This is really important. The non-financial stuff can be, well, devastating. First off, the mental health impact. We're talking stress, anxiety, even depression, that frustration from losing. It can create this really negative cycle. It genuinely affects your well-being, your peace of mind. It's not just about the cash.
That constant up and down, I could see how that would grind you down.
Exactly. And then there's the damage to relationships. Uncontrolled betting. It can really harm things with family, with friends. Think about it: lack of transparency, the financial strain it causes, maybe emotional volatility. It leads to conflict, sometimes even estrangement. Loneliness, secrecy is a huge part of it. Often, that erodes trust quicker than anything.
Wow. Yeah, that really paints a picture. It drives home that point, doesn't it? Your life, your peace, your relationships. They're worth so much more than any potential win. Definitely something to keep front and center. Okay, those non-financial risks are pretty stark. So that leads us to a really critical question. How do you know? How do you spot when it stops being just, entertainment and crosses that line into a real problem? What are those warning signs we should all be looking out for, either in ourselves or someone we care about?
Yeah, this is key. Our sources point to several really clear red flags, things to be vigilant about. One major one: betting money that you know is needed for essentials. Rent, bills, groceries, that kind of thing. If betting starts taking priority over basic needs, that's a huge warning sign.
Okay, that's a clear line. Using essential money. What else?
Another big one is increasing your bet size specifically to try and win back what you've lost. Chasing losses, it's this trap. Like, you think the next bet has to win. It almost never works out well, usually just digs a deeper hole.
The classic gambler's fallacy, right?
Exactly. And then just finding it really hard to stop betting. Even if you want to stop, you just can't seem to. And finally, feeling a lot of anxiety directly because of your betting, that constant worry, that stress. If any of these sound familiar, honestly, the advice is clear. Seek professional help. Talk to someone. Use the available resources. Your well-being has to be the #1 priority, always.
Absolutely crucial advice. So let's pivot slightly. If someone does choose to bet, understanding all these risks, what's the absolute bedrock principle for doing it more safely, responsibly? This is where bankroll management comes in, right?
You got it. That's the cornerstone. Effective bankroll management, it's the foundation of any kind of responsible betting. Let's nail down a couple of key terms. Your bankroll. That's the total pot of money you've specifically set aside only for betting. And the crucial part is, this money must be genuinely expendable. Like, if you lost it all, it wouldn't affect your ability to pay bills, buy food, live your life. Maybe it's $1,000, maybe it's $100, but it has to be money you can truly afford to lose.
Okay, expendable money only. Got it. And the other term?
The stake. That's just the amount you bet on a single wager. Simple as that. Managing these two, your total bankroll and your individual stakes, rigorously. That's what bankroll management is all about.
All right, so understanding that foundation is key. Now, for someone just starting out, maybe wanting to dip their toe in cautiously, what are the most recommended sort of straightforward strategies? to keep control and minimize that risk from day one?
Good question. For beginners, the sources really highlight two main strategies because they're easier to manage and control. First one is the fixed stake method. Pretty simple. You bet the exact same amount every single time. Doesn't matter if you won or lost the last bet. Doesn't matter if your bankroll went up or down slightly.
Yeah.
You just stick to that fixed amount.
Ah, okay. Like, say, $20 a bet every time.
Exactly. If your bankroll is, say, $1,000, maybe you decide your fixed stake is $20 or $30, and that's it. It makes spending easy to track and stops you making big, impulsive bets.
Simple. I like it. What's the other one?
The second one is the low percentage stake. Here, your stake isn't a fixed dollar amount, but a small percentage of your current bankroll. Usually, it's recommended to be between, say, 1% and 3%, maybe 5% absolute max, but lower is generally safer.
So how does that work in practice?
Well, let's say you start with that $1,000 bankroll again and you choose a 2% stake. Your first bet is $20, right? 2% of 1,000. Now, let's say you have a few losses and your bankroll drops to $800. Your next 2% stake isn't $20 anymore. It automatically adjusts down to $16, 2% of the new lure bankroll.
Ah, I see. So it protects you a bit when you're losing, your bets get smaller.
Precisely. It offers this kind of built-in protection during losing streaks, helps preserve your capital. And if you win, the stake creeps up slowly too.
Okay, those both sound really practical. Ways to building control emotionally and financially. It feels like setting up guardrails, like you said earlier. Essential stuff.
Definitely essential. And beyond those specific stake strategies, there are some just non-negotiable rules. If you're going to participate, you really need these. Rule 1. Financial safety. We touched on it, but it bears repeating. Never, ever gamble with money meant for essentials, salary, rent, bills. That's completely off limits, period.
Non-negotiable. Got it.
Rule 2, limit setting. You absolutely must define clear loss limits. Like, decide beforehand, if I lose 10% of my bankroll today, I stop. Full stop. No exceptions. And also set profit targets. Know when to walk away when you're ahead. Don't get greedy.
Okay, loss limits and profit goals. Makes sense.
Yeah.
What else?
Rule 3, record keeping. You need to keep detailed records. Every single bet. Date, event, type of bet, odds, how much you staked, the result, and your updated bankroll balance. Use a spreadsheet, an app, whatever works.
Why is that so critical?
Because it lets you analyze your performance objectively. See what's working, what isn't. Learn from actual data, not just feelings or guesses. It's your feedback loop.
Right, data over gut feeling.
Glad.
Okay, crucial rule number 4.
Perhaps the most crucial, especially emotionally. Avoid chasing losses. We mentioned it with the red flags, but as a rule, just don't do it. That impulse to bet bigger after a loss, to win it back quickly, it almost always leads to bigger losses and more distress. Resist that urge. Stick to your plan.
Never chase. Got it loud and clear. These are powerful rules.
Yeah.
But rules alone aren't enough, are they? It's about building a system, a plan.
Exactly. You need a structure. A step-by-step plan turns these rules from ideas into, like, actual practice, consistent habits.
So walk us through what that plan looks like, step by step.
Okay. Step 1. Define your initial bankroll. We've covered this, but be strict. Only money you are genuinely okay with losing entirely. Step 2. Choose your stake strategy. Pick one. Fixed stake, like $50 per bet, or a percentage, like 15% of your current bankroll. Commit to it for a period.
Okay, bankroll set, strategy chosen.
Yeah.
Step 3.
Establish your limits. Those daily or weekly loss limits we talked about, like stopping at 10% loss, and your profit targets. Write them down. Step 4. Register all bets diligently. Use that spreadsheet or app. Every detail matters for later analysis.
Get the data. Okay. Step 5.
Review periodically, maybe weekly, maybe monthly. Look at your records. How are you doing against your goals? What patterns do you see? Make adjustments based on this data, not on a whim after a big win or loss.
Data-driven decisions. Makes sense.
Step 6. Discipline post-losses. This is worth its own step because it's so critical. After a loss or a losing streak, stick a plan.
Do not increase stakes impulsively. Maybe even take a break. Regroup.
Reinforcing that no-chasing rule. Good. And the last step.
Step 7. Reevaluate and adapt. Your plan isn't set in stone forever. Based on your periodic reviews and what the data tells you, refine it. Maybe you adjust your stake percentage slightly. Maybe you tweak your limits. But do it thoughtfully, based on evidence, always keeping financial and emotional control as the priority. That's a really solid, actionable roadmap. But, you know, life happens, things change. A plan isn't just set it and forget it, is it? How do you keep that plan effective over the long haul? How do you stay agile?
That's a great point. Adaptability is key. You need ongoing monitoring and adjustment. It's a dynamic process. So for monitoring, it comes back to those detailed records. Keep logging everything. Date, Bet, odds, result, balance. This data is your raw material for insights. And then look at key metrics. Calculate things like your ROI, return on investment. Are you actually making a profit relative to what you're staking? Look at your yield, kind of like a profit margin per bet. Track your longest win and loss streaks. How volatile are your results? And track your drawdown. What's the biggest drop your bankroll has experienced from a peak? This shows your risk exposure.
Okay, so track the data, calculate the metrics.
Yeah.
Then what? How do you use that to adjust?
You conduct those regular reviews, weekly, monthly. Compare your actual performance to your goals. Where are the gaps? What's working? If your bankroll has taken a significant hit, the clear move is to reduce stakes. Protect what you have left. Lower the percentage or the fixed amount.
Makes sense. Protect the downside. What about the upside?
If things are going well, your bankroll is growing consistently, then you can consider cautious increases in your stake. Slowly, gradually, controlled. You can also evaluate different strategies. Maybe test a slight shift from fixed to percentage or vice versa based on what your data suggests might be more effective for you.
So experimenting, but carefully.
Exactly, and underpinning all adjustments. Emotional discipline. Don't make changes because you just had a great winning streak or a frustrating losing one. Base every adjustment on rational analysis of your data. That's how the plan stays a powerful tool for secure, sustainable decision-making. It keeps you in control, not your emotions.
That really ties it all together. Wow, this has been quite the deep dive. I think the core takeaway is really clear, isn't it? This was about giving you, our listener, a conscious, educational, and really responsible view on sports betting, keeping well-being right at the heart of it. It really highlights why informed decisions beat chasing quick wins every time.
Absolutely. It reinforces that message. Prevention, responsible play. Remember, entertainment is one thing, but it should never become a problem. If you have any doubts, any concerns at all, reach out. Professional support is there. Your health, mental, emotional, financial, that's what truly matters most.
Couldn't agree more. And just leave you with something to think about. A final provocative thought. We live in a world full of things designed to be tempting. Things that carry hidden risks, maybe investing, maybe even how we manage our time or make big life choices. How can these principles we talked about today, discipline, planning, self-awareness, apply in those other areas of life, where emotion can sometimes hijack our rational judgment? Something to maybe chew on after this deep dive. Thank you so much for joining us today, for engaging with this really important information. We really appreciate you tuning in.